I'm gonna get into my review of tonight's episode of Welcome to Plathville. We're starting off with the Plath daddy. Thankfully, we don't have to hear again about Barry dating, but we do get to see him go on a date this time. And I'm like, do we actually want to see that? But he's going on a blind date and he's explaining about how it's been a long time since he's been dating, obviously because he was married.
It's been a long time since I've been on a date. I mean, since Kim and I were dating, that's been 27 years ago.
Which we know that didn't stop Kim, even while they were married.
Nigel and I met at the gym.
Allegedly. But he talks about again how he wants someone with similar interests. Of course, his newfound passion in fitness, which takes Kim out of the running.
Oh, yeah.
As well as someone that loves the Lord, which also takes Kim out of the running since she is Satan.
Oh, yeah. I would love to find a partner that has similar interests. I love a good biblical mystery. It's like, how many women out there have read the Book of Enoch?
And so once again, the producers have to ask him for these pickup lines, which we already saw before, and we already know him and his children don't have any pickup lines.
How you doing, baby?
That's why they're in the situations they're in now. So if it's left up to these pickup lines.
Do you have any good pickup lines?
Hey, baby, your hair sure does flow. Come flow my way, baby. I want to go with the flow.
I think he'll be single forever. As he's picking out what to wear, he has some like colors and nice things, but out of all of those things, he picks the blandest thing, mostly just to show off his muscles.
I'm gonna go try this on. Yeah, I think this is it. It's light. I consciously chose the shirt because I knew that it would show that I have put 4 years of investment into my upper body. If I can, why not?
And I'm starting to see that Barry cares more about going to the gym and looking buff than the Lord. Because like I said last week, we don't hear about him loving the Lord, not wanting to celebrate Halloween because it's not an event day, when we all know he's just as much of a diehard Christian as old lady Lydia and big booty Zac. But he don't want to talk about that. Remember, the Bible does talk about being too vain. So now he's explaining that there's two versions to him, and the 2.0 version is that when he was married to Kim, they were traditional to where they didn't kiss before getting married, but now he's open to doing that.
Back when Kim and I were dating, we did have that posture where we weren't going to kiss till we got to the altar. I've revised that. I'm very open to, kissing. Probably not on the first date, but at some point along the line. Why not? That's kind of a change between version 1 versus version 2.
However, he is still going to wait to have sex until after marriage.
I'm a traditionalist, right? I like to wait until marriage regarding sex.
He's like, that didn't change, even though Kim didn't care even during her marriage.
Nigel and I met at the gym.
Allegedly. He's like, I'm just going to follow the rules of the kingdom.
Those are the household rules in the kingdom, so we're going to abide by them.
All while Kim makes the rules for hell.
Oh, yeah.
And so we go on this date with him, and his blind date is Jonah.
Hi,
I'm Barry.
I'm Jonah.
Jonah? Nice to meet you.
Hugger.
Oh, you're a hugger? Oh,
I am.
And already it's off to an awkward start because Barry keeps doing this weird thing with his eyebrows.
So,
I guess trying to impress her. And it's funny because he's like, well, did you look up anything on me? And she's like, yeah, I did.
did you go online and find anything out?
Maybe a little.
I would have.
I'm surprised she didn't run after she saw you were married to Satan.
Oh, yeah.
But as the date went on, I did kind of like her a little bit, mostly being fun with her comments.
All I knew was you were in your 40s, you were athletic, you were blonde, and very good looking.
Oh, well, they describe me perfectly.
Yeah.
And even Barry is like, he's turned on and likes what he sees.
And I'm hoping I'm making a good first impression because I like what I see.
However, he is not able to articulate that because why are you sitting here going on and on about the color blue?
But yeah, so, and that's a great shade of blue.
Thank you.
I like it. And blue is one of my favorite colors.
It segues to talk about what Barry really is looking for, a Christian girl. And she explains that she doesn't go to church.
I'm just a regular Christian, not any flavor.
I'm not either.
So do you go to a church here locally?
I don't. I'm religious. I grew up as a Southern Baptist. Organized religion is really not my thing.
Yeah.
I believe in God.
Yeah.
I pray, but I don't.
You don't go to church right now.
No.
Yeah.
No denomination
Yeah.
or anything. So.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And I'm thinking Barry's going to be like, oh, absolutely not. But he's over here making excuses, talking about, well, she may not attend church, but she has a strong faith in God.
She may not attend a church right now, but she has a strong faith in God, so we're connecting at that level.
Didn't you just say before you got there that you want a biblical woman?
I would love to find a partner that has similar interests. I love a good biblical mystery. It's like, how many women out there have read the book of Enoch?
She just says she believes in God and prays sometimes, if that, well, she didn't say all that, but not saying she's Satan.
No,
I'm just saying what you said you wanted. And so she compliments him and she says that she likes him in the confessional.
Okay, you look great, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was kind of nervous going into this, but he immediately made me feel very comfortable.
And then they talk about what I guess he really wants to talk about in the only deal breaker here, which is the gym, which she compliments his biceps. And she says she goes to the gym too.
Do you like to do things that are like athletic and sports oriented?
Oh, yeah. I go to the gym 5 days a week.
Oh, you're a gym type.
Yeah, very much so.
Really?
I lift.
You do lift.
I do. Not as much as you, obviously.
Well, I like the gym. You might be able to tell that I do like to hang out at the gym.
Which goes back to, I'm seeing that he's starting to care more about his physical appearance and going to the gym and looking buff than the Lord. Maybe old lady Lydia and Big Booty Zac need to sit you down too. Let me stop.
Apparently, Lydia and Zac have been sitting people down and telling them that they don't approve of how they're living their lives.
Too soon, because we'll get into that. But then they have this awkward stare, and she's like, I'll whip his butt in the gym.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna whip his butt in the gym.
So the date goes good, and they agree to go to a second date.
Shall we set up a time for like another date?
I would love that.
However, Barry is over here being sneaky, telling production, oh, we need to wrap things up so I can go grab a bite to eat with her.
You guys, why don't you just wrap things up? I need to go and get a bite to eat with her.
Now, she says she wouldn't mind kissing on the first date.
I'm hoping that he wants to kiss me. I'm totally open to it. I'm all about a kiss on the first date.
But we know Barry already said that he didn't want to kiss on the first date, allegedly. And I say that because he's starting to turn into his old ways of trying to hide stuff on camera, because he said that in the confessional, and then also when he was sitting there with her saying, let's make this adventurous.
Let's make this an adventure.
Well, let's do it.
But you saying you didn't kiss her on the first blind date.
It was a pleasure. I did not kiss her. I have a standing rule. I just don't kiss on first blind date. But I could tell she was willing to recede.
As well as y'all over here acting like she left.
Yes, I am looking forward to it.
So we might be seeing more of her. Girl, if you stick around, I hope you know how to battle Satan. Now we're back with the car ride from hell with old lady Lydia and Satan herself, Kim. Now, because Lydia called Kim out, now Kim wants to try to comfort her and Zac, talking about she heard what they did on the trip to Montana, which was literally about the day or so before, because that's where Lydia came from.
As long as we're expressing feelings, I've heard, I don't know that this is true, but I've heard that you and Zac have sat down people and explained to them that you didn't like how they were living, that they weren't godly enough or whatever.
Oh,
is that true? Or tell me your side of it, because that's what I've heard.
So why is it spreading this quick? It's just all about her trying to once again one-up her daughter. Like, why do you have beef with old lady Lydia? You don't do this with any of your other children. You do not hold them accountable. But that's because she calls you out, even in the most respectful way. She communicates the issue to you and she tries to work through it. But because you can take no accountability and you see that as an attack, that's why you always try to attack old lady Lydia and now her big booty man. And even as you talking about this now, I love how old lady Lydia is just smiling and smirking because she knows that you and the rest of those little imps are full of it. You talking about you heard that Zac and Lydia were sitting people down, telling them that they're not godly enough.
Apparently, Lydia and Zac have been sitting people down and telling them that they don't approve of how they're living their lives, and that's kind of hard. I just want to hear Lydia's perspective on it.
And you want to give her a chance to explain herself. First of all, I even know know that's not how that conversation went. If it did, good, because look at the satanic people in that room. But why does she have to explain that to you? And also, why are your grown children over here running to mommy, aka the cult leader? Because we already know you ain't no mother. You talking about they've been sitting people down trying to tell them things that they don't approve. They should have started with you. You probably wouldn't have gotten that DUI.
Welcome to Plathville's Kim Plath, charged with DUI.
And I'm over here like, who is over here running the Kim gossiping? And turns out it's Mariah in her wig. Girl, the fact that you are running to Kim gossiping about Lydia when she was literally there, if you had a problem, you could have said it to her face. Kim is saying that Mariah told her that Lydia and Zac sat them down like they're children. She keeps saying, sat them down, sat down. She needs to sit y'all down. But you saying that they sat you down and said they didn't approve of the alcohol and the raunchy games and the shows y'all were watching.
What I heard is that you two said to Mariah that you didn't approve of her having alcohol in the house.
No, that's not what we were saying.
You didn't approve of the games that she plays, like the raunchy card game, and the movies or TV that she watches.
We weren't saying that
it doesn't honor God. That's what I was told. So
goodness.
This is your chance to correct me, make it like.
I mean, we've already
help me
corrected
understand.
all of it with Mariah. And
You keep saying that Lydia has a chance to explain herself, yet you keep cutting her off because you happy that you got some ammo to come against her. But also, I'm glad that she told you she already explained that to the grown woman, Mariah. And Kim is trying to make us believe that, oh, well, you know, I'm not going around trying to get the tea. They call me.
If I'm not like calling up people asking for people's business, but people tell me.
yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, what do I do with that?
No, girl, we know that you like to gossip. I don't believe that, and I know Lydia doesn't believe that. We didn't even need to hear Lydia's side of the story, but I'm glad that she explained it, which is what I expected, and even better because with the alcohol, she was saying it was because Amber was there, the minor, your child, Kim, remember?
I am a little taken back. I guess news travels fast. Zach and I just observed a lot. Mariah having the alcohol there, I just wanted to bring it up to Mariah, like, just be aware, Amber's the minor still.
She was saying that it should not be around, which is why I'm like, oh, Lady Lydia is the parent looking out for your minor child, Kim, that you obviously don't care about. Amber is literally 17. And while old Lady Lydia and Big Booty Zac, they're Christians, they don't want to be around alcohol and stuff like that, they're mostly talking about Amber. The part for them is just what she explains later. Y'all should have been considerate, but they're grown people. They can handle their own. She's telling Mariah she should not have that around Amber because I'm sure all of y'all were wasted, drinking, pouring up, and wouldn't have said anything if Amber got something, but I know Amber is strong and good enough, which old Lady Lydia also says too. And Lydia says that someone, I'm sure it was Isaac, put on the TV show where they were just dropping F-bombs again around Amber.
Someone turned on a show that had more F-bombs in one episode than I hear at work in a week.
And with the card game, although it wasn't about Amber, that's where she said they should have just been considerate because we already saw the card game that Isaac and Pookie were playing with Zach and Lydia. And even then they acknowledged and knew that it was uncomfortable for them. Y'all already know what old Lady Lydia and Big Booty Zac is about. Y'all already know, it's no surprise. So for y'all to not even consider that.
The card game, it was just another instance of not feeling considered. I would never in a million years read out loud what it says on this card. These things did bother us and we thought it'd be nice if there was less of it.
And when they say something and communicate, like grown people say something to y'all, then it's a problem. Where old Lady Lydia was just like, y'all should have considered them. Y'all get mad when she says y'all don't know how to communicate and Kim didn't teach her how to communicate. But when she literally tries to communicate to you all, then it's a problem, and these grown people want to run to their cult leader, aka their mommy. Y'all are literally using that against her, and I don't see the problem when the people that are complaining are the people that she had the issues with, and she went to them directly to y'all's faces. It may not have been what y'all wanted to hear, but at least she came to y'all's face and not behind y'all's back.
You got something to say to me? You say it to my face and not behind my back.
Who the hell you talking to? Who the hell you talking to? Who you talking to? I don't like you. Say something else smart to me.
Which is what y'all always do, and even in this case, you also did Mariah going behind her back telling Kim, and then want to hide, which we'll get into, especially next week, when they have this meeting, then she want to run, her and her bag wig.
I feel like there's some things that we might want to talk about.
I'll be in the kitchen.
Okay.
I'm aware that everybody's gonna have a chat about stuff, and I didn't feel like I needed to be a part of it.
Want to start all this mess and talk about old lady Lydia behind her back, but when it's confronted, you want to run in the house. No, you and your bad wig, come on out here. Because all old lady Lydia was trying to do is tell you to be an example, because Amber, the minor, your sister, looks up to you.
We just wanted to, bring that to Mariah's attention of just be careful the example you're setting, because Amber really looks up to you. Not to say you need to change this or you need to change that, or you're not doing, something good enough, or you're doing it wrong. And I know Amber's strong and she's not just gonna follow one person in their footsteps.
Yeah.
So you doing all of this, that's all she was saying, being a real parent. But also Lydia brought that to them.
We brought it to Mariah because we want the best for Mariah. We want the best for Amber. And I want to say whatever needs to be said.
This is so dumb because I don't understand the problem. But I'm glad that she broke it down and explained how in the past she would hold her anger in, but she learned through Big Booty Zac, I'm sure, that there is even godly anger. And I'm glad that she can address Satan and all her imps head on.
I think for a long time being angry was just uncomfortable for me. It's like, I can't be angry. But I've also come to terms with the fact that there is a righteous anger, and that is necessary, and that is good.
And Kim is talking about, well, we just need to tolerate people for who they are.
We just need to accept everybody as best we can, and it's not going to be, we're not all going to be the same.
Yeah.
That is literally not what Lydia was saying. But even if that was the case, good. Y'all are the ones that need to be sat down and told about yourselves. But I know that's not the case. Y'all just hate accountability. And then Kim got the nerve to say they can tolerate people having a drink and watching something crazy on TV.
There's going to need to be tolerance for maybe somebody drinks and watches weird stuff on TV,
Of course, you, Miss DUI, is over here trying to brag about drinking.
Welcome to Plathville's Kim Plath, charged with DUI.
Tell that to the courts. You complaining to Barry later on about you need child support. He needs to show that clip to the court so he can get full custody and take child support from you. At the end of the day, all Lydia is saying is not having that and doing that around minors. But you over here talking about drinking and watching crazy stuff on TV? No. And Satan is so happy that she has this against them, because she talking about, well, Zac and Lydia, they don't see a problem with sitting people down. Again, she keeps saying sitting people down and correcting them, but everybody else sees a problem when what that is communication. She's sitting over here talking about that topic isn't done yet.
Lydia doesn't see a problem with them sitting people down and correcting them, but when I talk to everybody else, yeah, it was. I feel like there needs to be a little more communication about it. I don't feel like that topic is done yet.
Yeah, we know, because you now have ammunition, which y'all been looking for all season. That's why y'all were trying to play nice, act like y'all like Big Booty Zac and Old Lady Lydia, because y'all didn't have anything on them. But now that y'all have this, now y'all gonna drag this out and use this to just attack them all season, because without that, y'all ain't got nothing to talk about. And I just feel so bad for Old Lady Lydia, because she can't even communicate the words. She's been doing a whole lot better, but she's like, again, I just don't feel considered and also misunderstood.
Zac and I enjoyed our time in Montana, but at the same time, we just, once again, didn't feel considered in really anything. Another time being misunderstood, and yeah.
When Mariah and her bad wig could have came to her and said something. Y'all are siblings. If y'all have a problem, y'all want to act like y'all grown every other time. The simple solution for this is to open your mouth and talk to that person. Just like Lydia talked to y'all, talk to her if you got a problem and you disagree. If she bothered you so bad, you could have talked to her. And Isaac, you want to be a manly man, you could have talked to Zac right then and there. Now we're back with Satan, and she's at home talking about Barry is coming over so she can talk about her trip to see Ethan, which I'm like, girl, he don't care.
Barry is coming over today. I just wanted to talk to him about my trip to see Ethan.
He brought the juicer, which I'm sure you manipulated him.
Yay, my juicer!
Yeah, well, it's my juiceless juicer.
I've been No, it's my juicer.
I know.
I bought it. Set it on the dining room
I'll
table.
set it on the dining room table.
By saying, oh, bring this juicer, and you're going to trap him to talk about that and what you talk about later, which is child support. Because you love to catch people off guard, talking about y'all can be civil because y'all both are parents to great children.
Even though Barry and I are divorced, we're both parents of some wonderful kids. And occasionally it's good to communicate about some of those things so we're on the same page.
Mine is the little girls and old lady Lydia. You have raised a cult of satanic dummies. And so you know she has to gossip about Ethan and Tegan and keep that storyline alive. Over here trying to act clueless when even Barry was like, I didn't think they were going to last anyway.
I really didn't know what he and Tegan's relationship was like. I didn't know if they're back together.
I was assuming it was on the way out.
And so you explain what happened and talking about, you know, Tegan did something because it's always them. Your satanic dummies can never do anything. And because of what she did, Ethan saw Olivia and that's when he ran off.
Something that Tegan did or said, Ethan said he looked at her and he saw Olivia. Like he freaked out and he just got in his vehicle and drove off and he turned off his phone and he didn't come back for like 12 hours.
Okay.
Girl, even Barry was like, yeah, he need to get some help.
So he's got a lot of stuff to work through still.
Yeah.
Y'all love to blame Olivia for this grown man acting as if she did something so bad, even if she did do something. Like the fact that it's constantly the go-to excuse for when he doesn't know how to handle anything. And you sitting here talking about, well, he needs to learn some basic communication skills.
He does need to give it time, but I feel like he also needs to learn some basic communication skills.
First of all, you need to tell that to his face because you just baby him and not hold him accountable. But second of all, basic communication skills, where can they learn that from? I don't think you, because your child Lydia has been begging you to do that, as well as saying that she did not learn that and that's the problem, but you want to play the blame game like she's just mad at you and put the fault on you. But for your satanic dummy Ethan, who you love so much, you're saying that he needs to learn basic communication skills and he's worthy of that, but not old lady Lydia. When she is communicating to you and to the rest of your dummies, she's the problem. So what kind of communication skills you think that he needs? So now you are continuing to drag old lady Lydia, bringing up the post that she did, telling Barry, oh, well, you know, she was blaming, well, you know, the both of us, but I just feel like she was blaming me because we didn't give her the tools to cope with that.
You know, there was one thing that she posted online recently. She was talking about Joshua. It was hard for me because, I mean, she was blaming, I feel like it was us, but it was more me, not for Joshua's death, but for her not being able to handle it afterwards.
What is that to gossip about? What is that to be so angry about when your child is saying she is traumatized by what you did? You did it at the end of the day, but whether you did it or not, your child is saying she is traumatized by a traumatic thing that happened within the family to her brother, and she has not been able to process that, but you want to be a victim so bad that you are continuing to drag her name everywhere. Y'all love saying that, oh, well, old lady Lydia shoot. Well, I guess I don't say old lady Lydia, but y'all love to say Lydia and Zac, they love to go online to the public and talk about this thing. Y'all on a TV show, and I know y'all don't put no numbers like that, but y'all on a TV show literally dragging them. So because a camera's in y'all face and y'all do it in y'all little cult meeting that's filmed, it's not public. I mean, to be fair, nobody watches the show or should watch the show anyway, but y'all are on an even publicer, I know they ain't no word, I sound like maybe me, Kim, and Ethan need to take some communication. Y'all are on a more public platform talking about dragging old lady Lydia, especially last season. Ethan, you called them gay. She was literally a child, 4 years old, seeing her brother get ran over like that. But yet Kim wants to continue to be the only victim here. And like I said, yes, she's the mom. Yes, she did it. But she is a victim in that because, you know, that is her child. But she wants to be the only victim here. You're acknowledging that no one would be equipped at the loss of their brother, especially at that.
I don't know that anybody can be equipped for dealing with the loss of their brother or their child.
But you're blaming her for expressing that. And I can understand her not wanting to talk about it immediately after. That's fair. But then Barry is even making the excuse of talking about, well, you know, Lydia was 4. So what can a 4-year-old learn from that?
When that happened, Lydia was like 4. You can talk about it with a 4-year-old, but what do they take away from that?
That's when you take her to the experts. If you don't know, then you take her to the experts and a professional, because that sticks with anyone, especially children. And he's agreeing with Satan, talking about, he don't know if that's fair that Lydia said that.
So I don't know if it's fair for Lydia to say that.
And Kim is talking about she has the play-by-play of it, but can't verbalize it. So does Lydia.
And I still have the play-by-play of everything that I saw that day, and sometimes it goes through my head, but I can't. I'm not going to verbalize it, I can't.
How do you think she feels seeing that happen to her brother? You just take everyone's feelings out of the equation and make it all about you, because you don't want the blame, even though it is a bad thing to be blamed for, because it would put blame and accountability on you at any amount. You don't want that, because that would mean you would have to have a conversation with her and the rest of the children and say, I'm sorry. And we know you can never say that in any case. Even how you sitting here talking about, well, I'm sorry that she feels that way.
I feel like Lydia's struggling with Joshua's death, and I hate that for her, especially because, I was an integral part of the accident. Clearly, we both have scars or trauma from that event. I hate hearing how, that she went through all of that and that she's still going through that.
Imagine hearing your mom talk about you like this when you literally express how traumatized you are and how it's been difficult to process this even now, and this old lady is still making it about her, only her. But then you want to say in your confessional, well, Zac and Lydia, I've been hearing the things that Zac and Lydia have been doing to other people.
But I also keep hearing about things that Lydia and Zac have been saying and doing with, to other people. I feel like at this point, the air needs to be cleared with everyone.
What does that have to do with anything about Josh? More evidence that you just want to drag old lady Lydia. You just want to destroy her. You hate Lydia so bad, but don't want to admit it. But you also know not to bring that up to Barry, because more than likely he's going to take their side. But also you don't want him to talk to Lydia and Zac before this house meeting, because you want to blindside them and you don't want them to come prepared. You want to attack them, which is so evil. But then Kim wants to talk about something else, which is child support.
There is one thing I need to talk about. I also need child support.
And Barry's like, well, I am paying, but Kim is saying he's only paying half until his house sells.
You're giving me half.
That's all I can afford.
I cannot indefinitely get half child support. He's not paying me the full amount of child support until his house sells. It's been on the market for a year.
Girl, you better go on the table for two.
What can I do for you?
You have a table for two people?
Sure. There you go.
Thank you.
You too busy running your mouth and gossiping, pick up some shifts. And of course, on that note, that's when Barry leaves, which I don't blame him.
All right. I think it's raining out, but...
Now we're on to the Satanic Three, Ethan, Isaac, and Kim. They outside working, but ready to have their scripted talk with Satan.
Would you like to help me run through some lines?
Depends on what I gotta say. Sure.
You don't even have to act it. You just read the words.
Ethan is talking about, well, I'm back in Georgia, claiming that part of the reason is because of old lady Lydia's and Zac's wedding anniversary.
I'm back in Georgia. It's Lydia and Zac's anniversary of their wedding, so that'll be going on next week.
As if you care. We already know you don't. We already know you do not like Zac, and you are probably so angry at Lydia for making you have to put up with him. And so Satan pulls up, and they're ready to recite their Micah Plath script that they've been working so hard on.
I promise this will be painless. I'd hate to hear your painful questions.
And y'all know Kim is the only person, the main person that is driving this Tegan and Ethan storyline. Like, how's Tegan?
How's it going with Tegan?
Oh, it's going good.
Good.
I'm talking and spending some time together here and there.
Yeah. So are you guys dating now or not yet?
No, not
Just friends
officially.
still?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't believe it. I do not believe it. We know y'all definitely ain't friends now. But he says that she's coming next week.
Oh, yeah. Tegan's coming down next weekend.
Oh, good.
So shit, see all you guys again.
Yeah.
Which she's at that talk. I don't understand, and we'll get into that. But he also says that he is seeing a therapist.
Things are going okay in Wisconsin. Me and Tegan have seen each other like once or twice. I found a therapist that I think I like.
First of all, I do not believe that. I don't think anyone, unless it's a priest ready to do an exorcism, is equipped to somewhat help you. But you got the nerve to say it's good to have a neutral party.
But sometimes it's good to have like just a neutral party. And, you know, they can help you, maybe give you some pointers how to deal with stuff and let it, instead of it all not being up in your head.
Really? What about when Olivia was literally trying to get you to do therapy and you were fighting her so hard on it?
I think processing that anger for the first time was kind of an awakening inside him. He's just now grappling with a lot of things that he kind of laughed off before, used humor to brush off. I mean, he is pretty angry. So I told him a couple weeks ago, after I came home from a therapy session, you're gonna have to go to therapy as well in order to make this work.
Olivia's really wanted me to go to a personal therapist. I did give that a try, but it didn't do anything for me.
You gonna go back?
Maybe in a month. I don't know. When I feel stressed or frustrated, I don't want to sit down and talk to somebody about it. I want to get out of the situation. And so I'll go work on my cars. I'll go work on something outside the AC unit, the lawnmower. It's just something for me to do by myself to process.
Y'all just love to lie to push whatever narrative/lie that you are trying to push, because don't nobody believe that. And now they read their Michael Plath script of, so how was the road trip with Lydia? So Kim can segue into their whole talk and talk about how Lydia blamed me.
How did your road trip back from Wisconsin go?
Oh, it was good.
And she brought up Montana and then Isaac, dummy Isaac reading his lines. So anything particular that...
We talked about what happened with her and Zac in Montana, stuff like that.
And was there anything particular?
You already know what it is because you were there, and apparently it's such a big thing, and seeing how y'all are so boring, I'm sure that y'all just standing around and that's the most interesting thing that was going on, because y'all love to hate on somebody, y'all love to bully somebody. So you already know what she's talking about. Why are you sitting here acting dumb talking about anything particular? The thing that you and Mariah were crying about, that's what it was. And the thing that y'all are not man or woman enough to go to old lady Lydia and big booty Zac yourselves. Y'all have to go to the quote leader, aka young little mommy. And Kim has the nerve to be lying, talking about Zac told Mariah that she shouldn't be drinking, period.
I know he was telling Mariah she shouldn't be drinking.
That's not what she said. She said around Amber, a minor, all this drinking and alcohol, that's what they said. And you over here talking about, well, I've been drinking. He never told me to stop.
Well, I drink around him all the time. He's never told me I shouldn't drink. I would love for him to.
Yeah, he was like...
Girl, a judge told you to stop because apparently you drink and drive too much.
Welcome to Plathville's Kim Plath, charged with DUI.
But also somebody needs to tell you to stop drinking, you and the rest of them. And then Ethan got the nerve to bring God in this, talking about Zac said these things don't honor God.
It's like you have alcohol in your house, you got card games that don't honor God, the TV shows you watch don't honor God, and it's like you literally, they were brought into her house, she lent you her car for the weekend, now you want to sit her down, tell her what she's doing wrong because you think what she's doing doesn't honor God.
What do you know about honoring God? Y'all love to put words in Zac's mouth, and Ethan, I'm sure that's not the only thing.
Tell the skinny hoes to point me where the thick hoes at. He want a flat booty bitch, I'm not...
That bastard really does pop in blue.
But y'all need to be sat down, if anything.
Girl, if any motherfucker ever needed to sit they stupid ass down, you that bitch. You that bitch.
And told about yourselves, but I also know that is not how that conversation went. Y'all are literally just looking for a problem. And Isaac is over here talking about, well, he would only talk to the girls. That whenever I would walk away, he would pull the girls aside.
Out in Montana, he would only talk to the girls when I was away.
Y'all keep and this is how I know it's very intentional, because y'all keep using these words, sat y'all down, like they are saying, you sit.
Hey, stupid ass down.
We need to talk to you and come into our office, or pulled to the side like they're in a corner like, come over here guys, I need to tell you, you shouldn't be drinking. That's how y'all are painting this, when we all know that is not the case. But even if it is good, over here trying to remember his lines about what Mariah said, when that was not the case.
I was not around. He was pulling the girls around, out aside and talking, telling them that Mariah shouldn't have this in her house. She shouldn't have this playing. They shouldn't listen to this kind of music. All this stuff that is just a normal person would know their place and be like, okay, I personally disagree with that, but it's not my place to go and tell them what they can and cannot do when I'm being welcomed into their home.
They only was saying it shouldn't be all of this around minors, but also they said it to their face, something that y'all aren't man enough to do. Because if you knew Zac was pulling the girls aside and Pookie aside when you left, you a manly man, why can you say that to his face? Why can you tell him to his face? Even now, why you can't call up or pull up if you so angry and you so bothered by it, you gonna let him punk you out? And so now Ethan is over here talking about, that just makes me so angry.
Makes me so mad.
we see your therapy isn't working, but you just have so much anger in you over Big Booty Zac, which we already know the real reason why.
Tell the skinny hoes to point me where the thick hoes at. He want a flat booty bitch, I'm not.
That bastard really does pop in blue.
Because why else would someone just get you so angry? Every time he's around, you just uncontrollably like, oh, he makes me so angry.
Man, that stuff just pisses me off. Damn freaking idiot. God, here's... We gotta follow this freaking idiot.
Ethan loves making his noise.
Ethan's pissed.
Son of a bitch. I don't know that I can do this.
I've never seen anyone act that way, even around people that you don't ever talk about Olivia like that. To where just the thought, you're like, ugh. So that's how I know you want that big booty.
Tell the skinny hoes to point me where the thick hoes at. He want a flat booty bitch, I'm not.
That bastard really does pop in blue.
And Satan got the nerve to talk about, well, if we live our lives to honor God, then that has to start from within.
If we're supposed to live our lives so that everything we do honors God, that's got to come from within.
Who do you think she learned this from? You, when you were putting on trying to be all religious, which you explained, but now you talking about you have a different version of Christianity, an adult version.
In some ways, you know, I can see myself, a younger me, in Lydia and Zac, passionate about their faith. I'm still like that, but it's just definitely aged and mellowed, and it's a calmer, more adult version.
How does Christianity age? This isn't wine. I know you used to drinking and driving.
Welcome to Plathville. Kim Plath charged with DUI.
But that's not wine where it ages over time. And you talking about you just talk to God like...
Just kind of talking to God like a friend.
Girl, Satan is not a friend of his. And Isaac done Googled some little script that he memorized. He searched, give me a scripture about how you shouldn't judge people, and remembered that, and now he want to quote that.
That's between you and God. It's not for other people to look at your life and all your details and pick out what you're doing wrong, because the Bible says focus on the log in your eye before you go pointing out the speck in somebody else's.
How about we ask him to recite it now? Or ask him where it came from. He wouldn't know. Or maybe think of 3 other ones on people judging. And so now the Bible scholars, Ethan and Isaac, are over here talking about they're being so self-righteous, and that's the problem with Christianity now.
Self-righteous. I am better than you. What you're doing is immorally wrong. You need to do what I'm doing, and I'm here to guide you.
And unfortunately, you see a lot of that in Christianity. A lot of people who...
Yeah, is using God to control other people.
That makes me sick.
Yeah, it really pissed me off.
But, I mean, they'll have to answer to him one day about that.
You are only just saying this just to use the general complaint about Christianity to weaponize it against them to work out in your favor. Because we all know y'all are Satan's children, and y'all do not care or know anything about the Bible. Y'all over here talking about, well, you shouldn't judge people and you should let them be who they are. Yet, Ethan, all the hateful things that you have said on camera.
If they choose to change that when they're an adult, I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna love them.
So if you have a boy and he grows up, and when he's a mid-teenager, he decides, okay, I'm no longer a masculine man, I'm gonna be a girl, what will you do?
When he is an adult, if he decides that, nothing will change.
It's bullshit.
No, it's called unconditional love.
No.
I'm not gonna have a kid unless I'm prepared to love them no matter what.
Teaches them that they can be a different gender than what they have been naturally born to be.
I think I'm gonna dye my hair blue tomorrow.
Fine, I don't give a shit. You dyed it red already.
What about all of that? So now Kim is bringing up how she brought up Joshua.
Lydia and I also talked about how she thinks that I've been coping with Joshua. That's like the most intimate personal stuff about me that she could say. She was blaming me for not equipping her to deal with it, but I can't. I couldn't then. I still can't.
Yeah, and the Bible scholars over here talking about, well, you know, she took it to a public platform. That's the thing. They don't just talk to their friends. They talk to the
Lydia and Zac don't just talk about it to their friends or something. They go on a public platform and talk about the most intimate, hurtful, dark time of my mom's life.
In extreme detail. They've gone deep into it more than I think should have been.
like I said earlier, at the end of the day, y'all are on a TV show, and I know y'all shouldn't be, and I know no one watches it, but y'all are talking about her and dragging her and her husband on a TV show that just happens to air nationally. I wouldn't say a nationally known, because not that many people know it and should know it.
You ain't nobody. I ain't nobody.
But y'all are out here dragging them on TV. So you mad when they say something on social media, and y'all are also talking behind their backs when they say it to your face. So what's the problem? It's giving y'all know how to fight. Isaac only know how to bop Micah.
So I got a couple stitches last night.
But it's given other than that, y'all don't know how to fight because y'all so angry y'all ain't square at once. Y'all have all this anger. Square up. And this is where I'm like, Isaac is trying to speak up more, but the more he speaks, the dumber he sounds, because he's taking notes and pointers from the other dummies, Ethan and Kim, talking about, well, I can understand where mom is coming from, especially after Zac and Lydia sat us down and told us they don't like us talking about them.
I could understand where my mom's coming from, especially after what they had said, that they're not going to tolerate talking about people like that.
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that? Bitch,
You thought you ate with that one. You really did. Because in the literal flashback, they say, if you have a problem with us, come to us and not do what y'all did and y'all are doing now, which is gossiping about them behind their backs.
Any concerns you have, please come to us, because if I find out that there's still gossiping about Zac and I will not tolerate it.
Which is what they did and what you are also not doing. Talking about, well, am I missing something? Was there any fine print?
I don't get it. Am I missing something? Or was there like a fine print when they said that?
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that? Bitch,
You really thought you ate with that one, right? Because you dead wrong. And here they go, Baby and Kim talking about, well, you know, regardless of that, you did good.
Well, regardless of what anybody else has to say about that whole event and stuff, you've done good. Going through that and then still raising 9 kids, like you did good.
And Ethan is like, well, if you never want to talk to me about it, like, you know, it's totally fine. I'll be
like, if you never want to talk about it with me, I'd be perfectly fine with that, because I can't imagine going through that.
We know, because you don't know how to communicate, and you also don't know how to process feelings, and you already have so many issues going on, unresolved issues that you need to work through. So you fine with just piling it up, talking about she wasn't the one that
accidentally was responsible for what happened.
Yeah.
And then you've had to live with that and deal with that ever since.
Yeah, we know she wasn't. You talking to the criminal to her face. But again, even though it's a traumatic thing, the fact that y'all are babying her and trying to drag old lady Lydia for expressing her feelings, let it have been Olivia or anybody else, but y'all love to say Olivia, say Olivia. Let it have been Olivia. Y'all would be dragging that girl even more than y'all doing now. But because it's Kim, y'all babying her. Like, if Olivia traumatized y'all family like that, which y'all claim she did, y'all would be talking about it all the time, which y'all already do. But because it's Kim, we don't ever talk about it, you know. But the real reason why Kim doesn't want to talk about it, which I mean, I knew from the start, is she has a feeling of guilt, which she already said, which you should.
But it also has this feeling of all of that guilt all over again.
Not even like a bad way. But you hiding from it because you don't want to take accountability, and you're fine with your children being traumatized and not processing that. That is an evil, evil thing to do as someone who calls themselves a mother. And now she's twisting even more, talking about Lydia said that Joshua's death was the reason why Kim and Barry got a divorce, when that is literally not what old lady Lydia said.
Lydia was speculating on why Barry and I divorced, and saying that it had to do with Joshua, which it actually had nothing to do with that at all.
And we are seeing in real time Kim, Satan, twist and manipulate words to fit her narrative, which is why I know this whole Montana story is fake, which old lady Lydia already debunked. But that's how I know and knew that they manipulated that to fit whatever narrative that they wanted. She's only doing this to pit more people against Zac and Lydia, which is her end goal and why she's trying to fuel them, which, I mean, they don't need fuel because they just have so much hate in their hearts already. They just needed a reason, which is why Isaac is over here talking about, well, you know, I tried.
That's why, I mean, I've been trying everything I can to be on good terms with them.
And I have too tried really hard to be on good terms with them.
No, you didn't. None of y'all did. And Ethan, the healed Bible scholar over here talking about, well, you know, if she's doing this just to process, you know, that's not, you can't find healing in that.
If she's doing that to process it or heal, you're not going to find any healing in that.
Yeah.
It would make things worse.
What do you know about healing? Also, can you spell it? Since you went to therapy, now you are the expert in knowing how to process and heal. How is that a thing when you are literally a troubled, well, you ain't got no soul. You are a troubled, soulless dummy. So the solution for them is to gang up and talk about it to old lady Lydia and Zac.
The solution is we just all get together and talk to Lydia and Zac about all of that.
Yep.
They are staging this attack, which again is why she didn't want to tell Barry, because she knew that he would tell them and she wants them to go in blind. You are literally saying that it's such a problem for Zac and Lydia to sit people down and correct them or talk to them and tell them what they're saying, but you are literally talking about them behind their backs and ganging up on them, and you got the nerve to weaponize Joshua's death in that conversation, which is why you tell Lydia on the phone next week that that's what the meeting is going to be about.
I know you said that you wanted us to all talk about Joshua. I'm ready to do that now. Okay.
When in essence, it's the attack of Zac and Lydia as well. That's why I'm like, she is an evil, disgusting old lady. Talking about before they can have this healing conversation, they need to talk about Zac and Lydia sitting people down and telling them they ain't living right.
Before we can really have this healing conversation around Joshua, we kind of need to address how Lydia and Zac have sat people down in the family and told them they're not living right. These things need to be discussed.
Again, what does that have to do with anything about that conversation? She is just so evil because she wants to have that first in hopes that they will get upset and storm off, and then she doesn't have to talk about the Joshua situation and be held accountable. I hate Satan. I really do. Now we get to Kim going to see a therapist. The same one that helped Micah and Veronica well, I guess she ain't helped them talk. Well, I also guess she ain't talk because they ain't even let her talk. The same one that listened to Micah and Veronica. But I'm not even going to waste too much time on this performative thing. Kim starts out by saying, I'm here because she wants to talk about the whole Joshua situation and how she lost a son. You know, it was just one of those things where
We lost a son in 2008. He was 17 months old, and it was one of those things where I was moving a vehicle on the property and ran over him.
Girl, one of what things? That's not a normal thing. But you paint the picture that the older ones were there. Again, validating Lydia's story. She was there and saw it.
The older ones were all there when it happened. Initially, I wasn't able to talk about it or like anything. Like I was, for several months, I just was totally shut down.
But you have not been able to talk about it for months, which again, I feel like we're repeating the same thing over and over and over again. I understand that, and that's fair. But again, all about you, because now you're playing the victim and saying, well, you know, my oldest daughter, she is blaming you.
Recently, one of my daughters went online and was blaming me for not giving her what she needed to be able to grieve or heal or move forward or whatever. And next week, we're having a family meeting. We're all coming together and we're going to talk.
And she's so manipulative because even after she said that she knows she's wrong, you immediately cut to, well, you know, next week we having a family meeting to talk about everything. Really, tell the therapist what this meeting really is for, which is to gang up on old lady Lydia and Big Booty Zac so you don't have to take accountability. And the ironic thing about all of this is you victim, want to be the only victim, are sitting here in therapy saying your daughter witnessed a traumatic thing as a child and is upset or blaming you, in your words, that you didn't take her to a therapist. So even now, only you can go see a therapist, because if you really care so much, why didn't you take just old lady Lydia and you, since I guess she's the only one that want to process it, since Ethan's like, you know, we don't have to ever talk about it. Why you didn't take her to see a therapist? and work through it together as mom and daughter. But again, you want to be the only victim, talking about you don't feel like you have anything to offer them.
I don't feel like I have anything to offer them.
What about, I'm sorry, I understand you're hurt, or expressing that to them? Like, I share that same pain. And even the therapist asks, well, you know, did she come to you directly? And you say no. And she's like, well, did you talk to her? And you also say no.
The daughter, has she communicated to you directly what she wants from you or what she's hoping to get from you? Okay.
No.
Have you asked her?
No.
You thought this lady was going to side with you since you want to play the victim, but that's not the case. Just like your healed son said earlier, it's a third party that helps you see your issues. Because at the end of the day, you're still the mama. I know you don't want to be the mama, you don't act like the mama, but you are. Sitting here playing the victim, talking about Lydia went through a play-by-play and saying that you have your own play-by-play.
She did a play-by-play of exactly where she was every moment that it happened. And I can't listen to that. Like, I have my own play-by-play of what happened that day, and sometimes it runs through my head, but I'll never verbalize that. It's too painful.
Which is fair, but it's all about you. You didn't even acknowledge her play-by-play and her viewpoint of that and her perspective and her trauma and her hurt. She's literally saying she's traumatized and hurt as well, but all you keep saying, in other words, is that you don't care. You don't care about her, and you mad at her for blaming you. Because if they all came to Kim and said, oh, Kim, like, we're so sorry you have to deal with that. Like, you know, we love you, we support you. She'll be,
For you guys.
in the driveway and happy, and then be like, oh, we're healed, we don't have to talk about it no more. Because again, she wants to be the only victim. She would never bring up a situation where she can take accountability and try to heal her now cult, but her family. Even the therapist agrees and reiterates what old lady Lydia is saying without even saying it, which is that Lydia is saying she wants something that she never got.
She's wanting something from you that she maybe feel like maybe she never got before. Because you said there was a period of time for months where
sobbing constantly and oh God help me.
The therapist would know that if you were honest and did not twist things, because that's literally what Lydia said to you, but you want to paint her as this villain that's out here blaming you and dragging your name. Because how you are manipulating this situation, the therapist probably thinks that Lydia only went online to drag you and never came to you about how she felt, when yeah, Lydia might have did it first, but since then, and since you have said you had a problem with it, she has been trying to talk to you, but all you do is play the victim. And I'm glad that the therapist could see right through that, and even in a therapy coded way, she is pretty much saying you are just mad because how you really feel and how you know you are, Lydia shows you that.
Kim is definitely dealing with some guilt and some shame. Her daughter put her on blast. And whatever she might be saying, Kim may be seeing herself in that way anyway. So that means that what I see, what I think about myself may actually be true.
And then here goes Kim with this performative act of her crying, with these performative and these selfish tears. Because while they may be real tears, they are selfish tears. You are sitting here saying that you are so hurt because you caused hurt on them, your children, and you can't bear that. And all of that hurts you as a mother.
What makes it so hard for me to hear from the children, as much as it hurts me, the pain, like I've never felt pain like that before. To know that I inflicted that same pain on all of my children, and they have to feel that pain too. It's more than I can bear. I can't bear thinking about how much I hurt everybody.
But you just keep disregarding when Lydia is telling you that and communicating that to you. But yet you want to keep painting her to be a bad person because she's reminding you of the guilt and the pain that you have caused them. You're literally sitting here saying you are hurt that you hurt them. You're doing all this crying and everything, putting yourself through even more trauma because you cannot say I'm sorry. And I'm not the one to say that you owe them an apology. You literally are saying that you owe them an apology because you are saying that you hurt them. You put them all through that. You are putting the blame on yourself. finally. But the way to do that is to say, I'm sorry, which you cannot do. Yet, even after that performative act, you still are going to go through with this attack on old lady Lydia and Zac, which goes to show you ain't learned nothing. And I don't know why Tegan is there, because if y'all going to talk about old lady Lydia and Zac, and or especially Joshua, her and Pookie shouldn't even be there. And honestly, Zac either, when it gets to the whole Joshua situation, that's a family thing, so it doesn't even make sense. And I already dragged Mariah about when she gets up and leaves after she started all of this.
I feel like there's some things that we might want to talk about.
I'll be in the kitchen.
Okay.
I'm aware that everybody's gonna have a chat about stuff, and I didn't feel like I needed to be a part of it.
And so Ethan wants to chime in, and that's when Zac is like, so I'm the problem.
Man, so I'm a problem for the whole family. Got it. Cool.
I pray to the Lord with me and old lady Lydia and Big Booty Zac that they dragged that whole cult, minus Barry because he was there, but that old lady Lydia and dragged them like they need to be dragged. And ooh. And if y'all some real men like y'all say y'all are, square up.